All right, guys, we've made it to the final video of the Power of $100 course. Now, this is the debt payment calculator. Again, the template for you is going to be below this video, so you just got to download it quickly. And again, if you have two screens, that'd be really helpful. You can watch me on one, you can do it on the other. Just for a refresher, you're going to need to create a copy of it for yourself. So you can go up to here for File. You're going to make a copy. Click on your folder. This is going to your Google Drive, and you can just select your Google Drive, make a copy, okay? Or again, if you're not sure what that is, go to File, Download, and you could just download a copy to your computer. This is the debt payment calculator. This is why we're all here, right? We want to find it, we want to find the money. So hopefully you found a certain amount of money. Make a post about how much money you're saving monthly. What were the categories that you took away from? What were the categories you added to get to that number, okay? I really want to see the feedback of you guys of if it's working, right? I want to know that it's working for you. But now we got to focus on debt because debt is a huge problem in the United States and around the world. So here's the debt payment calculator. There's a input section, which we'll go over in a second. There's a calculator section, okay? And then there's a more detailed tab here, and we're gonna go through all of this so you're not overwhelmed with it. Up top here, so what you wanna do, this balance date, just enter the first of the month of whatever month you're in. It doesn't really matter. I'm recording this video in November 2024. So that's why I put November 1st, 2024. Here is the table where you're gonna wanna enter all of your debt information. Now, there are 10 rows, okay? So what you wanna do is enter the creditor type, the total balance that you owe on your debt right now, the interest rate of that loan, and the minimum payment of that loan. Now, to save you some time, I've already entered some information here, so let's just look at that. I have a credit card, personal loan, student loan, and feel free to call these whatever you want. You can call it the name of the company. You can call this whatever is easiest for you. This is your file, do whatever you want. So we have a $25,000 loan, and here we have the interest rates here. We have 5,000 and 10,000, okay? So in total, for our debt, we have $40,000, and our minimum payments are $400. Now, for those of you that aren't sure, the minimum payment is basically how much money you have to pay on each of the line items without getting some sort of, penalty or fee or anything like that. So that's why this is so important. You have to know at least what the baseline is, because if you're not making these payments towards your loans every month, then you're making everything a lot worse. So you're in a ton of debt, but you're not being able to make the payments, and it's increasing the fees that you owe, and it's just going to make things way more expensive. So this is the data portion tab. We're going to go down here, this monthly payment. So let's just start off assuming that you're at least making the minimum payment, which is $400. And this initial snowball section will come into play. This is basically just saying how much additional money from your minimum payments are you making above your minimum payments. So right now it's 0. And we're going to go down here. This is the calculator section. And again, it's going to show us our loan types that we've entered, our balances that we've entered. And now it's going to show us our interest paid based on all the stats that we've entered so far. It's going to show us how many months each line item is going to take to pay off, and then the month associated with those number of months. That way we can sort of quantify how long it's going to take. Our totals here, and this is the section that's really, really cool, and how the power of $100 really, really works, okay? So this is the total interest that you will be paying based on the information that you've entered above, okay? So you're gonna be paying, not only do you have $40,000 in debt, but you're gonna be paying almost $44,000 of interest based on the stats that we've entered, based on the minimum payment that you make. And then here's your debt-free date, May 2042. Again, I'm recording this in November 2024, so it's like 18 years, okay? There's two strategies that I wanna talk to you about, and there's two strategies that you could use either one. Both of them are fine. The first is the debt snowball method. And with this strategy, and by the way, the calculator does all the work for you. You don't have to think about it. I just want to explain what each of them is. The debt snowball method is where you're ranking your debts from smallest loan to largest loan. Now, the benefit here, you're going to get smaller mental boost because you're going to be paying off the first debt a lot sooner, right? Because it's the smallest one. Because if you look at this here, the smallest, we're going to be paying it off in 109 months. And the largest is 210 months. So it's like twice as long. And it just gives you like little momentum. Like, okay, I'm doing the thing. And then you paid on your first one. It's like, wow, I did it. Okay, let's move to the next one. Wow, I did it. Now let's move to the next one. If we were to put more money in here, the point of the snowball method is we would pay the minimum payments towards each of our loans. And then any money that we have left over goes towards the smallest loan. If we were paying more money than our minimums, so let's just say we're paying $425, the extra $25 that we have here goes into the smallest loan that we're doing. So I'll just bring this back to $400. And let's look at the avalanche method, which is the other one. And this one is going to rank your debts in order of highest interest rate first to lowest interest rate. So the benefit to this one is you're likely going to be paying it off sooner because you're attacking the highest interest rate first, okay? Because with debt, as we saw, $43,000, the interest is the absolute killer with all of this, okay? So if you're able to hit the one with the highest interest rate first, then that's gonna give you the big win. The two strategies are basically the snowball method, which will be probably a little more expensive, probably take a little longer, but you'll likely get the mental psychological boost, right? And that's what we're gonna be looking at in this calculator. It's like, which one's better to use, okay? Or you can use the avalanche method, which will be cheaper, but it could be less mentally helpful, right? Because you could see here the first debt that we're trying to pay off, this line item, it's going to take 210 months. That's not very mentally positive, right, for us. But it's just math, and it's just, you know, whatever you're feeling. So each of these strategies are great. But what I want to show you is how the power of $100 is so impactful. Okay, so again, our stats are our minimum payment's $400. So let's just say we're making $400, and we're going to use the avalanche method since we're technically going to be paying this off slightly sooner. Okay, so I just wanted to use this one as an example. As I mentioned before, you don't have $40,000 in debt like you do, but you actually, if you just do that and you just pay minimum payments, you actually have $83,000 in debt because you're not considering the interest. You're not considering the interest, and I think that's why a lot of people just get stuck in debt because they don't know how to pay it down faster. So that's why we're here, okay? That's why we're talking about this. So again, the stats 43 in interest. Our debt-free date is May 2042, but let's enter the power of $100. So let's change this monthly payment. We're gonna add just $100. So now we're gonna be paying $100 more than our minimum. Make sure when I hit enter, you're checking out this interest paid and you're checking out the debt-free date and how they change, right? Boom, an extra $100. So we went from $400 to $500, and our interest went from $43,000 of interest over the span of our debt to now it's just $20,000 for an extra $100, guys. And we went from May 2042 to January 2035. So that's 7 years, okay? $23,000 in 7 years of our life of being debt. It's just completely gone by an extra $100, and it's really incredible. Now, just to show you, I wanted to go through the math of each of these, right? So I want to look at the snowball method. And as you can see with the snowball method, in this example, it might not be the case for you, but in this example, it seems way more optimal to use the avalanche method because as you can see, the interest of the snowball is 27, whereas the interest with the avalanche is 20, okay? That's why I'm using this example. I wanted it to be a little more realistic with this information that we're using. So as we kind of go through this, what you can do is you just play around with it. Keep playing around with the avalanche and the snowball. Keep playing around with the monthly payment amount. So instead of $500, let's do another power of $100. Let's see what $600 does. Right, and as you can see, we went down to $13,000, and we shaved off another 3 years of being in debt. Okay, this is incredible. So for an extra $200, we've shaved off $30,000 of interest and 10 years of debt. Okay, so now, how motivated are you to find as much money as possible in your finances to make this a reality? Because you can make this a reality. I think way too many people do not know that it doesn't take a lot of extra money to be applying to your debt to be able to pay it down way faster. Imagine having 10 years back of your life. Imagine having 10 years of, instead of really pushing towards your, retirement in 2042, you can push towards it in 2032 with $600 a month, right? Or whatever the thing is. It's like, how do we get rid of debt faster so that we can move towards our next goal, right? Just like we talked about in the financial goals video. We're not making the one goal to set it and do it and then never think about goals again. We're setting the one goal so that it can set us up for the next 10, 20, 30 goals, right? That's the whole point of this. And it doesn't take much money. Like I'm trying to shout this from the rooftop, guys. If you actually want to pay down your debt faster, you have to find a way to, one, if you're not even making your minimums, you have to get up to your minimums. You have to. And then once you get to your minimums, you have to just find more money because it's it's literally compounded. The $100 and $200, you're saving tens of thousands of dollars, guys. Tens of thousands of dollars, and it's just so impactful. So I need to show you, this is just a little payment breakdown, okay? So if you like graphs, you probably don't. After my first video, I went through a lot of graphs, but It's just showing the interest due and how it's going down, and then the snowball, right? Like how much extra is paying every single month. So if we go to this payment schedule here, it's going to break it down even better. So we have the strategy, okay? And as this changes, let me just show you. If the strategy changes here, then it changes here and all the stats change, right? So I'm going to move this back to Avalanche. And it's showing us, again, all of our debt types, all of the information that we've entered. It's showing us our month payoff date based on each of them. And then this is just a little helpful tool for you to see, like, okay, how much money should I be paying towards each of my debts? And obviously this file will not do it for you. You'll still have to make the payments yourself. But the snowball here, the extra $200 is going towards this Amex credit card, right? Until it's paid off. So we're going all the way down here. And as you can see, this is when it gets paid off. And then the entire $460 here, so it's the $200 plus this $260, now goes into this next one, which is the personal loan, which is our next debt amount. And we push all of our extra money towards this one until it gets paid off. And then we push all the money into this last one until that gets paid off. So that's the power of the snowball. And what you can do is, let's say you have like an additional, let's say you get a bonus in December for some reason, and you have $1,500 bonus. What you can do here is add it as a one-time thing, and then it's going to move it to the snowball, which moves it to the first one, the first priority, which in this case is the Amex. Or you can use it another way where, let's say in March, something happened and you're no longer able to make as much money or as much of a payment, and you could only make a $50, snowball additional. It just shows you how to apply all the stuff here towards your debt. So it just gives you an idea of how much money you should be paying. For this video, what I want you to do, underneath this video, there's gonna be a post of instructions of, I want you to share your wins, okay? So first, I want you to enter all your information, right? Get your balance and your minimum payments and all this other stuff. And then look down here and see how much interest you're gonna be paying towards your debt and what your debt-free date is. And then do the power of 100 or however much money you've saved using the 3-month look back process and the budgeting process, add that to your monthly payment, and then let everyone know how much interest you've saved from doing that, and then what the new debt-free date is. That way we can see your transformation of here's where I was, and now here's where I'm going to be if I stay consistent with it. And I think you showing your results are going to be super helpful for other people as they continue to join the group and this group gets larger and larger. Because again, I just want people to help each other. I want you to help the next person, and I want you to get help from, the person that's already a little bit ahead of you. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. There's a post below of the instructions of what I want you to do, and then say, here's where I started, here's my interest, here's my debt-free date after the power of $100, new total interest, new debt-free date. That's the official end of the course, but it's not the official end of you and I talking, okay? So definitely get engaged in the community. Feel free to reach out to me. I want to be as helpful as possible. Also below these videos, I'm going to be putting feedback posts, okay? Where I want you to be giving me feedback on the files, on the process, because at the end of the day, I've created this for all of you guys. So if something you think would work better or more efficiently, or something doesn't work for you at all, I want to know that too. So I want to know everything. I want feedback because I can change things as we go along. And as a majority of people are saying that they want the same thing, then you better believe that I'm gonna deliver that for you. Okay. So that's it for the course for now, but we will talk inside of Dollar Discipline University. See you around.